Hey now, Superfly is 187 coming at you today with a video about incarceration. Yeah, getting locked up, being put in jail, and your boy Superfly isn't any exception to that. I don't know when this gameplay is from. I just had a bunch of gameplay clips saved. Anyway, I guess this was when I was in high school, late 90s, I'll have to say 95, 96-ish, maybe later. Anyway, so basically, I was hanging out with a few of my buddies. We hanged out with this native guy named Urkel, and Bobby Higgins, Greg Gibson, and a bunch of girls, I don't know, Ashley and some other whores and whatever else. We were always up to no good, really, and we were just underage kids looking to get some beer and have a good time. So we ended up finding a guy to buy us beer. Basically, we did what all the other kids have to do at that age, you know, wait outside the beer store until you find a sucker to go in and buy you some beer. And we ended up getting a guy to buy us 2 full cases, and if you're unfamiliar, that's 48 beer, 24 each case, if you're outside of Canada. So that's a lot of beer for like 6 underage teenagers to have. But anyway, so can't even remember where we went, but there was this creek where we would hang out and drink. You know, it was nice out, summertime, I guess, and we actually got pretty ripped. Yeah, I can imagine that, right? And basically what happened was there was this condominium, a building of condominiums being constructed. It wasn't finished. It was very in the early stages of development, and the frame was still there, but so basically, you know, after we had probably about 7, 8, maybe 10 beer each or so, I don't know, something like that. We were pretty drunk anyway. We ended up exploring this building, and my buddy Bobby found one of those computer chairs with wheels on it, and he found a fire extinguisher, and he pulled the frickin' Bart Simpson, where he used the fire extinguisher and shot himself across the room, and it frickin' worked. I don't know if anyone's ever tried that before, but that shit was funny as hell. Also very illegal, not good to do. Anyway, so we were hanging out in this basement of this condominium development complex, or whatever the hell you want to call it, drinking, having a good time, and we ended up finding we found some power tools, like some skill saws and some drills and just all kinds of stuff you would expect to find on a construction site. I had no idea they would leave that stuff there, but basically it was in like a locked toolbox. But this toolbox was really flimsy. Like literally we just bent the lid up because it was that easy, and we were able to reach in and grab whatever we wanted, right? So we actually grabbed everything. You know, we were like, yeah, we're gonna get some drugs, we're gonna get some money, you know, and maybe we'll get some more beers and whatever. So we were doing all that and carrying them through the bush and stashing them and coming back, and a bunch of the people, I'd say Greg, maybe there's another guy, Hector, I don't know, a bunch of guys and a bunch of the girls, they all just stayed with the stuff, right, in the bush somewhere near the creek, and we were all going back to the building. I remember carrying this skill saw on my back. It freaking thing must have weighed like 100 pounds. It was so freaking heavy. I don't know what the hell they use that shit for, but, you know, the heavier the better, right? It's gonna be worth lots of money. Where are we gonna sell this shit? I don't know, man. We were kids. We did a lot of bad shit. We stole a lot of things. Anyway, so we went back to the building, and we're getting some more stuff, and all of a sudden, we hear the sirens. You know, like cops pulling up, and I'm like telling my buddies, I'm like, again, pretty drunk, I'm like, guys, don't run, they can't get us on anything, you know, like, we're not you know, we stashed everything we stole. Don't worry, it's gonna be all right. Because they wanted to run, and silly me, I'm like, I don't want to run. You know, like, well, we should have frickin' ran, because apparently some guy in an apartment building who can oversee the creek and everything saw us pulling all these power tools out of the condominium and stashing them in the bush. Well, we went to jail. Like, we went to jail right then and there. Oops, team kill. And that was a really rough one for me. I got in a lot of shit from my parents. I think I was 17 or yeah, 16 maybe. Anyway, we went to jail that night in holding. They released us the next afternoon. And all those people that were hiding with the stuff, they left. I don't even know how they must have ran as soon as the cops came or whatever. They were lucky. They didn't get in trouble at all. But don't worry, Mr. Gibson. I think you had enough trouble. I have another story about you involving some very, very serious crime that I had to testify for the DA for. Anyway, so we ended up going to jail that night with a later court date, and basically it boiled down to the three of us getting charged. We didn't rat out the other guys, you know, we weren't snitches, and basically we all got a little bit of jail time. I was 18 by the time the sentence was passed, so they kind of had, I was kind of in a tricky situation. I was a kid, but an adult when I was sentenced, so they actually put me in a halfway house for a couple of months. Funny story about that is when I showed up, ooh, nice kill cam. When I showed up, I was all nervous and scared. I'd never been in jail before, and I didn't know what to expect. When I got there, I saw like a bunch of people I knew. I was like, oh, this is where all y'all motherfuckers went. So anyway, it turned out alright. You know, a couple of months in there. It was still hard on my family and shit, but whatever, fuck them. Anyway, I am Superfly is 187. That's my little B&E story. I do have actually a few more. I don't know if I'm going to tell them. I don't want to incriminate myself, but this is one I got caught for. Anyway, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. Alright, I'm out of here. Peace.